Hi, my name is Jesse Young, and I'm running for Congress in Washington State's 6th Congressional District. You know, I'm often asked what is my motivation for running, and the answer has always been very simple: my children. About 30 years ago, I was growing up in Tacoma's Hilltop neighborhood and lived a very impoverished lifestyle. But fortunately, through the hard work of my mom and a good example that she set, I was able to rise up out of that. I worked very hard in school, was valedictorian in Tacoma, was elected a Washington State Scholar, and through a lot of providence was accepted into the University of Notre Dame. And as a result of those opportunities, I've been able to make something of myself. And here I am some 30 years later, and I now have 5 children. But I have a very big question that bothers me every night, and that is, I know that my children will never know the want or the needs that I have. They'll never know what it's like to go to bed hungry. They'll never know what the possibility of homelessness is like, what it's the stress that you go under wondering where you're going to lay your head at night. But I'm not convinced that if you took my kids out from underneath the provision that I'm able to provide for them today, that they'd have the opportunity to rise up out of that just 30 years later. And that bothers me, because I know through a lot of providence that I can provide for my kids. And I know through the sweat of my own brow I can probably provide for my grandkids too. But what about my great-grandkids? What about my extended family, which is very important to me? What about your kids and your grandkids? The truth is, I'm not convinced that if we don't make a change now and start sending real-world business experience to Congress, that opportunity is going to be there for our next generation. And that's why I'm running.
This message is paid for by Jesse Young for U.S. Congress Committee.